bottom three. Meanwhile, at the other end of the table, big win for Brighton takes them from 14th and into 8th. Aston Villa move into second place ahead of Manchester City, who play tomorrow, and Arsenal now 6 points clear of Aston Villa, 7 points clear of Manchester City. The live sport doesn't end there. There is a big night of darts ahead.
Mikel, they sure made it a contest, but how proud are you, not only with the result, but the way you guys handled all the challenges that Bournemouth presented tonight?
Yeah, very happy. We knew the difficulty of the match. It's a team that constantly is threatening you, is asking you questions. They are so good and attracting you, play the ball long to the right player with the right duel, the second ball, counter-press you. And to get out of that game is difficult. We made it even harder for ourselves in the manner that we conceded the first one. But I love the character of the team. I love the character of Gabi. The way he overcome that situation, it's just unbelievable, and it tells a lot about how much we've grown and matured over the years. And yeah, the team find a way to beat them, and it's a massive win.
Yeah, you just mentioned Gabi's character. He makes the uncharacteristic mistakes and he's furious about it. And then 6 minutes later, he scores. How much of his personality is translated into his game, you think?
A lot. When you talk about presence and being dominant and authority, that's probably the player that represents that in this team. That's why it's so important, and you have to lead by example. You cannot demand that to the rest, and then if something happens to you, don't do it. So today's example, I think it's a great one.
Talking about personality, Declan Rice, how do you see the progress of his relationship with the goal and everything that the presence of Zubimendi, for example, allows him to do?
Again, another one that is put so much in the last few days to make himself available today. We didn't know for how long. So he stretched himself to the very limit. He got rewarded. The team got rewarded with 2 great goals. I think it's the first time that he scored 2 in the Premier League.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, a great day to remember.
You know, you guys are the team who scored more goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half. It's 12 goals in the Premier League. How do you handle your halftime talks? Because they sure seem to be very effective.
Well, trying to learn from what happened in the first half and try to improve it. And that's what we have to do constantly. You can gather a lot of information and to try to help the players and change the course of the game or give them the tools to do that. And the players have to do it then, and they're doing that really well.
In this case, how was it? Do you think in the first half you could have put more pressure on Bournemouth?
Yes, but we couldn't because we lost the ball in very dangerous areas too many times. And when that happens, you are not compact as a block, you don't travel together. So to put pressure against a team that plays with a very open structure that wants to just attract you to put the ball in the last line, you have to be very conscious of that. If not, you get opened up. And we did get opened up a few times when we mistimed things. But then I think in the second half it was much better.
It was the first of 9 games in January in 4 different competitions. It's going to be a long month, but fans will be hopeful and excited, especially when you look at the quality of this squad. So how much confidence do you take when you look at this squad, you look at your finishers, you look at the starting 11, how much confidence does it give you for this run?
Yes, a lot. I think, first of all, we need to understand the effort that they are doing because it's what we have in January, but what we had in November and December as well. So it doesn't matter. You see the decide. You see how they celebrate every action, how much they want it, and that's the energy that we're going to need.
Okay, well done. Thank you.
You said important goals at the right moment. 2 of them, of course, from Declan Rice, who joins us now. Declan, thank you very much for just making sure that he's all set up and ready to go. Declan, can you hear us?
Wait, say that again because I lost the connection.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us loud and clear?
I can hear you
it's
now.
all working.
Yeah.
We're just saying congratulations on the victory, first of all. But also for you, we know that very famously you've scored 2 goals in a Champions League game before this, but you've never scored 2 goals in a Premier League game before today.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. I hadn't scored a lot this season, to be honest with you. I'd only scored 2. So to grab a brace today and an important victory was a really nice feeling. You know, when you win and you're able to help out the team like I did today, it always had that extra bit of a special feeling. So, yeah, I'm delighted with the goals and obviously more importantly 3 points because they're a really good side, Bournemouth, especially here.
Yeah, and they're always important games, particularly when you get to this stage of the season, when you are chasing a Premier League title. But this one coming off the back of the win against Villa, who are one of your direct competitors. Manchester City dropped points against Sunderland. It just feels like it was a significant one in terms of timing as much as anything.
Yeah, massive. Obviously, off the back of Aston Villa, I think the key thing today was to build on that and to go and win. The win against Villa would have meant nothing if we come here today and didn't pick up anything. But it's so important this time of the year. The schedule's crazy. The fixtures come thick and fast. And, if you can win your games in and around Christmas, on top of what we've done already, it's going to put us in a really good position. So we've got to keep building on that, keep the mentality right, keep pushing. But we're in a really good spot at the minute, and long may that continue.
Hi, Dick. Paul Merson here.
You're right.
You're right, mate. I was just going to
all
say,
good.
What did Mikel Arteta say at half-time? Because I thought first half, their midfield were all over you like a rash first half. Didn't really have time to get your heads up. A couple more times they intercepted, got you moved, And I thought Arsenal as an Arsenal team give the ball away a lot more than they usually do. Second half, you sort of overpowered them. Was there anything that he said that sort of changed that, where you had to drop off or, push on or...
Yeah, no, I think in the first half, I think we was doing the things they wanted. We kept playing the ball to our left side and they kept trapping us. As soon as we made that one pass over to Gabriel, they all swarmed in on us and, we made us either go back to David or kick it long. And like you said, it did feel like swarmed all over us in the first half. But, we're a team at second half. Once we get in there at half time and the manager speaks and we speak between each other, we knew we had the quality and we knew the space was there to go on and win the game. And we've done that a lot this season. So, credit to everyone to go out there and perform how we did second half, because that wasn't easy today.
Declan, Jamie Redknapp, congratulations, mate. Hopefully you've got a screen in front of you now. I want to talk about your 2 goals. As Kelly rightly says, very, very important ones. Let's talk through the first one. Obviously a great finish from yourself.
We're only 2 tap-ins, I think. I think, look there, it's just important. Look, there's big space, Victor's holding him off. And Martin, he was going to shoot, but he heard me shout. And obviously, if you keep the ball low, you've always got a chance, especially on the outside of the box. It's hard for the keepers to get down. So, that was a nice one to score, because I've not scored many from outside the box this season.
Yeah, it's a really good finish. It's just about what do you see when you see it from this angle here, that you're just obviously trying to squeeze it into that corner because all the players are rushing over to their right.
Yeah, and you see the keeper. When the Martin's got the ball, he's on that side of the goal, and then when Martin passed it back to me, he's naturally going to move to the right. So I knew it was going to be hard for him to then make the step back down low once he'd come back across. So I think that was an important goal because there was bodies in the way as well. So I was happy with that.
And the next one, obviously, this is the winning goal, Deck. Talk us through this one, because obviously Bukayo Saka's now on the pitch. He gives you so much going from that area. You make a sort of a late run again. You played the ball out wide to him. You're just sort of drifting into the box here.
Yeah, quick free kick, quick thinking. Don't let him get set. Let B be 1v1. Martin, great pass. And again, give B that shout. And I think that zone's always so important to occupy. You see so many midfielders score goals from that position. Everyone drops, and if you pull away and the ball comes, you've always got a chance to score. So I was happy with the movement of it, and obviously 2 great passes, from the first goal from Martin and Bukayo on the second. So I was happy with that.
No, they're great finishes. The only problem is I've got some bad news for you, that Sky are obviously going to bill you because we've got to now clean that camera deck. It's a bit of a problem for us. I don't know if you can see it here. A lot of saliva, mate. It was a sloppy kiss.
Was it?
Talk us through this.
It was only a peck. It's
a New Year's kiss.
New Year's kiss,
celebration
exactly,
kiss.
mate.
Declan, you mentioned Martin Zubimendi there, and I just want to talk to you about that relationship between the two of you and what his presence in the team allows you to do.
Yeah, I think don't underestimate to come from La Liga to come into this team. He's not the biggest player or the strongest, but his brain, the way it works, allows the teams to function in such a good way. He's been unreal. He plays so many minutes already for us this season, the way he gets on the ball. And obviously he's Spain's number 6 at the minute, and rightly so. Composure and the way he thinks. It's been great to play with him. I'm learning a lot, and we've built a really good partnership. So long may that continue, because we're both young, we're both fresh, and we want to keep building that together.
Deck, will you be watching the Man City-Chelsea game on Sky tomorrow?
I didn't even watch the game versus Sunderland, honestly. I think I'm just, if I've got the time tomorrow, I might watch it. But yeah, I'm just focusing on us at the minute. I know it sounds cliche, but yeah, I think it's just important. There's so many games. Our recovery's got to be so important, and I can't get too caught up in what others are doing. I think it's the most important thing is what we do, and we can only control that. You know, it'll be a good game, I'm sure, but yeah, let's just keep going ourselves.
Declan, just one on that point about not watching the games and focusing on what you're doing. Tell me about if it feels different this season and if you've kind of learned from previous title challenges, if there's a kind of lesson you've taken from that.
No, I think like everyone plays everyone in this league. Man City, we know, are one of the best teams in the world, and you know, more than likely they're going to win their games. So it's so important for us to just stay on track and stay focused and not get caught up in what people are saying on the outside, and internally just sticking to what we're trying to do and what we believe in, which is obviously to just keep winning every game. Like I said, we're in a great position, and we've been here before. It's just about keeping that mentality right, not getting complacent, and keep winning football matches. Ultimately, that's what's going to make good things happen. So let's keep doing that.
Declan, congratulations. 6 points clear of Villa, 7 points clear of Man City, top of the league, and 3 points today with 2 goals. Well done.
Thank you very much. Have a good night. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.
It's really interesting to hear him, and he's staying very level-headed, Merce. How much can players actually enjoy the victories over the course of a title-winning season, or is it just job done, on to the next one?
You should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. There's certain games, and Bournemouth's one of them games where they're like a Brighton, a Brentford. You go and win. People think, oh, you turn up, you win. You win here, they do you a favour at the end of the season. It's a big football result today. Mm-hmm. We never look back. When someone wins the Premier League, all we focus on was the last 3 or 4 games. But there's games like this game that they're the defining moments. It puts so much pressure on Man City. And I know people go, oh, we'll get on with our game and we'll do what we do. But because I used to watch all the games. I used to watch. Of course, you want Man City to get beat tomorrow. If I'm playing for Arsenal, I want them to get beat. So for me, you know, it helps. You know, I know people will say, you know, we worry about ourselves, but it's less worrying about yourselves if the other teams are losing.
Yeah. And no matter whether he watches the game or not, he'll certainly know about the result by the time the full-time whistle goes.
But it's a nice position to be in. You recover, you sit down, watch the game, you're in a no-win. And it's horrible for Man City because they've got to go and play Chelsea now, which will be a difficult game. And they've got to win just to stay 4 points behind. It's grinding just to stay 4.
Jamie, Bournemouth did make it difficult for Arsenal, and
really
they started so strongly in that game and got the early goal.
I love watching them play, Kelly. Their position in the league doesn't really justify how good they are as a team. Declan Rice referenced this. He said they wanted to get us into these areas. They're pressing them. You can see Tavernier. It's almost a rush of blood from Gabriel because he's trying to play that ball into Urian Timber just here. You can see they're trying to play it. Normally you'd see him, he'd go back to his goalkeeper, use the spare man, then he'd come out to Saliba. Instead he sees him and he's thinking, OK, I could play this one. It's not on. Obviously a poor mistake, then it falls to Ivan Nilsson, a good first touch and then finishes it really well. Really uncharacteristic of Arsenal, uncharacteristic of Gabriel. But then you put yourself under pressure, already very difficult place to go. So you have to make sure you react. You have to make sure you're ready for every single eventuality and you don't drop your heads, because last year, this was a place where they capitulated. Saliba obviously it was last year with Saliba, wasn't it, getting sent off with Ivan Nilsson? Yeah. And that was a massive moment in the season. Whereas this year, you can see that anguish. He uses that then as a positive. 5 minutes later, they get themselves back into the game, and obviously a really big goal for them, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, a massive goal. But it doesn't matter how great a team you are and great players you are. If people get your heads down, it's so hard to play.
Absolutely,
and it was only because Bournemouth went and suffocated them. Usually teams sit off and Arsenal get it and they turn and they ping it and they ping it. As soon as they got in about them, but you've got to do that for 95, 96 minutes, and it's a grind. And you can see second half, they hit a brick wall and they just can't cope with Arsenal.
Well, even before the second half, Arsenal were back in it.
As well. Ray, job done. And look, Glenn said there, it wasn't perfect from an Arsenal point of view. But when you look back in a few weeks, you don't care, do you?
No, not at all.
Or do they, performance-wise?
Well, if they're picking the Premier League trophy up in May, you don't analyse it.
Here we go. Look, now we got it going.
No, you don't go back and say, oh, remember that game against Bournemouth? We just about got through and didn't play well in the night. It's all about getting points on the board and putting pressure back onto City or Aston Villa, whoever's chasing them down. And that's all you can do, is keep winning games of football. I know it's an old cliche, but you can take one game at a time. They'll be looking now straight away to Liverpool on Thursday. Big game. Always a massive game at the Emirates. So they've just got to get the job done Thursday as well.
Is that something that this group's got better at?
Sometimes they can probably get better at seeing games out, like you said earlier, Glenn. I mean, at times you've got to put it in the corner and get a throw, give them a throw in, and with 2 or 3 minutes to go, they seem to invite pressure onto them, like the end. You know, Semenyo nearly had an opportunity to whip the ball back into the box again. So they've got to probably see that out a little bit better, but they've certainly got improved on it.
Well, you made that reference when we were watching, Ray, didn't you? You know, when we were just watching 20 minutes or so ago, that, you know, the team that you were in, the Invincibles and the Arsenal teams under Wenger, they had that ability, that knack just to calm things down, to take a breath. But they've got the leaders in the team. It just sometimes feels a bit frantic, that, you know, when you're 2 goals up. Yeah,
it's up to organisation, get everyone behind the ball. Sometimes turn the fullback and push up as a team. You know, all these little waste time for 2 or 3 minutes. You know, and the clock's ticking. And that sees the game out and it gets you the 3 points. And they do invite pressure on at times, and they can probably improve that. But they've certainly got better at it. I still think they're not the complete package yet by doing that. But certainly today they'll be relieved because Bournemouth did have a go. I was a little bit worried towards the last 10 minutes, thinking, will they get the equaliser? But they see it out and got 3-2, and that's another big 3 points for us.
And Glenn, in terms of the reaction from that Aston Villa defeat, it's 5 wins on the spin in the Premier League. You can't ask for more than that in terms of resilience and how you come back from adversity.
Yeah, massive. The way they've bounced back. I think when you give it context, the last few years where they've kind of blew up at stages in the season, everyone thought, is this going to be the point? But they've come back extremely strong, and I think they're better for those last couple of years. That experience as a group, and for me, since that Aston Villa game, and obviously the game before this, we talk about performances, don't we? Sometimes you might not need a performance at Bournemouth, you just need to get a win, whereas last week that was the performance against Aston Villa, wasn't it?
Certainly second half, they really upped the tempo. If I'm being honest, Villa had a couple of really good chances in that first half to get the opening goal, which could be vital in any game. But again, today they conceded early, which was a bad mistake from Gabriel. We'd be the first one to admit that, but they showed a bit of resilience and come back, because Bournemouth, on their day, can be very hard to beat at the Vitality.
How much more room do you think they've got to actually fully click? Because that's worrying for Manchester City. You could say City haven't fully clicked as well, but they do have more gears in them, don't they, Arsenal?
Absolutely, but this time of year, you don't do a lot of training. You know, a lot of it's just ticking over. You're recovering for the next game because they come thick and fast. So Mikel Arteta won't be out on the training field doing drills, and that's where Gyökeres maybe he's missing out a little bit, because they can't do a lot of pattern play and all that sort of stuff and see when they're going to whip the balls in. And, you know, it's all about recovery. Yeah. And to be fair to Arsenal, they're getting a few players back now. They had that little spell when they had a lot of injuries, but now they're getting players back as well, which will make them even stronger.
And no one is talking about the £105 million fee that Arsenal paid for Declan Rice, are they? I mean, he has been absolutely fantastic for that football club. Back in the team today, of course, missed the Aston Villa victory. And 2 goals for him, Glenn, 2 important goals down on the South Coast.
Yeah, when his team needed him, that's when he stepped up. A wonderful awareness by Odegaard to spot that run from behind him, and the weight of the pass there. I just want to highlight Gyökeres. Obviously, he comes in for a little bit of criticism. See here, the whole of the Bournemouth defence are around him. So, in effect, he's done his job. He's occupied 4 defenders there, which then frees that space up for Declan Rice on the edge of the area for him to just stroll onto and be able to slot it in. You can see how many defenders are back there and how much space Rice is in. And when you give him that kind of space and on the edge of the area, he doesn't make many mistakes.
Yeah, he's, and obviously, you know, the 2 goals, and I talked about the first time he scored 2 goals since the Real Madrid game. The fact that they're coming from midfield, and that midfield, Ray, is isn't it, for Arteta?
Well, you've got Eze, who didn't even come on today. You know, Marino's come on. You know, you've got so many different options you've got now, different combinations. What Zubamendi's done so well since he's been at the club is that he's released Declan Rice to get in positions like he is there. Because before he come in, Zubamendi, it was Declan Rice who's probably playing that quite a deep midfield role. But now he's got the licence to get forward, which he should do, because he's a box-to-box player, Declan Rice. But like the old school players used to be. in central midfield. But really pleased for Declan because he's been an absolute brilliant signing. And as I said before, he's done the business on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, he's been amazing to a lot of players and a lot of young players as well. So huge credit to him.
And that's when it looked pretty comfortable, didn't it?
Very comfortable.
3-1 up. The Krupi goal changed things a little bit, didn't it, in terms of the nerves from an Arsenal point of view?
Yeah, listen, I think Arsenal have got that kind of swagger and arrogance that they're happy to go toe-to-toe with teams like Bournemouth. And you said about shutting up shop, didn't you, Ray? But they believe that they're better, I think, this group. And when you get a look at this, you can't really pick much out of it from an Arsenal point of view, I don't think. I think it's you got to hold your hands up sometimes. It's a wonderful strike from 25 yards, and sometimes you just can't do anything about it.
Harsh to question the keeper here.
I think he's a little bit blocked out. If you look at it in slow motion, look, the ball's come in. There's a couple of players there. He just goes. Look, it looks like he's going to go to the left, and then he changes his mind quickly, goes to the right, and the pace. The pace on the ball is very, very good and a great strike.
He looks a player, by the way, just from a Bournemouth point of view. Krupi, 6th Premier League goal, 19 years old. You know, maybe losing someone like Semenyo, and these are the kind of people that can step up amongst the goals.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you look at Bournemouth, they've had good recruitment for many years now because obviously they are that type of club that need to sell people to survive in the Premier League, and sometimes you've got to let people go, like your Semenyos, your Howsons, people like that, Kirkes. So you need to have that kind of that stream of new talent coming in all the time, and I think Krupi could be one of them.
How worried would you be if you're a Bournemouth fan right now in terms of the drop-off? And obviously the losing the players, which they've got used to, and they've got a long time in the window. I think the facts with this Semenyo deal are that in sort of 6-7 days' time, the clause disappears, which is to encourage him to leave early in the window so then they can get their option in. And they would have identified replacements already, surely.
Yeah. Definitely, especially when it's been the clause is in there, so they know how much money they're going to be getting from the deal. It's not kind of a blind one, so to speak. So they'll be well aware, and they'll have had their eyes on certain players for many months because they're not stupid. They understand that Semenyo and the likes are going to leave the football club at some point. So it's about how they reinvest that and make that squad strong. But I think looking at that game today, sometimes you hold your hands up, that they lost the game. Plenty of positives for Iraola to take out of it.
Yeah, and plenty of positives, of course, from an Arsenal point of view. Let's get some Arsenal reaction down at the Vitality Stadium. Here's Noni Madueke.
Noni, that's 7 successive wins in all competitions. What was said in the dressing room after that, because it got tense in those final moments, but a massive victory for you to go so far ahead in the league.
Yeah, no, credit to ourselves. Everyone knows it's such a tough place to come to. They're a very, very good team, strong at home, and yeah, we're just really happy that we got the win and we keep the momentum going. We've got some tough games coming up, a really long month with a lot of fixtures, so we just want to keep the momentum going for sure.
We found out that Big Gabby might just be human today. Bit of an error. How nice to then set him up with a beautiful run for redemption. It was a lovely move from you.
Yeah, no, to be fair, all credit to him, He didn't let that early slip phase him. It happens to everyone. Everyone makes errors, especially at the highest level. So I was delighted that he finished it. He finished it like a striker as well, so really good from him.
He did react very well, Gabriel, didn't he, to the mistake? And it's not often we see him making mistakes. I mentioned it at half-time, but it's only the first time in 3 years that he's made a mistake which has led to a goal, Gabriel. But it's very unlike him, Ray.
It's an awful mistake, it really is. And he'd be looking back saying, what was I thinking? Because I don't think you can get this pass across to Saliba, how far he's away. Look, you can't, he's not even in the picture there. And he straight away, as soon as he sort of come off his heel a little bit as well. Whether he's looking for someone in front of him, but it's an awful mistake. And he'll be the first to admit that. But you've got to show a bit of character. As a player, everybody makes mistakes, but it's how you respond to the mistake is the most important thing. So to go up the other end and get his goal, very pleased for him, because he would have been kicking himself if they'd lost the game. That journey on the way home from Bournemouth wouldn't have been very nice for the other lads and himself going home. So I'm pleased for him. But
well, I don't know what it's like for you boys being on the pitch. If you ever made a howler like that or missed a sit or something, your heart must be absolutely racing. But this was the recovery, and it was quick. 5 minutes, 18 seconds later, he makes it all square, Glenn.
Yeah, and you can see with the celebration what it means, because he knows that he owes his teammates one, and he makes absolutely no mistake when it gets there. I think Semenyo could probably close down a little bit quicker here. Really too easy for him to go past. You don't want Madueke going to the byline here. Trufa, I'm not sure what Trufa is. He just turns his back, doesn't even stick out a leg. Really, really poor defending. And because that overload at the front post, eventually Gabriel finds himself at the back post with a little bit of space. Still got a lot to do when it gets to him. Doesn't fall very nicely for him. Has to react. Really good purchase, really good goal, just to slide it in that near post.
And Madueke actually unlucky not to get the assist there because he did all the work, didn't he? And he was in. That was the story we were talking about, Ray, wasn't it? Before kick-off, him in for Saka, who was, I don't know what you want to say, rested, dropped, whatever. He was on the bench. That's part of having a big squad. But Madueke's performance, what did he make of that? Because he's trying to do all he can to keep Saka out of the team.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. You know, competition for places. That's what Mikel Arteta wants. He wants people who don't play on a regular basis to come in and make it a problem for him to the next game. And to be fair, Saka, he comes on and gets an assist as well. But Madueke, I thought he was very lively in that first half. You know, he always wanted the ball, and he's a little bit more direct than Saka. Saka, you probably know roughly what you're going to be doing. He always cuts back on his left foot, but Madueke can go both ways. So, you know, I was impressed with him today.
Yeah, well, let's get some more Arsenal reaction, shall we? Because delighted to be joined by the Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard, live on Premier League Live. Martin, good to speak to you. We've got your older Arsenal friend here, Mr. Ray Parler. Glenn Murray's in the studio as well. Congratulations. Look, a huge 3 points there. And the resilience, you probably heard us there, Martin, talking about Gabriel, the mistake, but 5 minutes, 18 seconds later, he makes amends, and it's a huge win for you down there, isn't it?
Yeah, massive win. It was a strange game, very sloppy on the ball, especially in the first half, and yeah, obviously with the first goal, put ourselves in trouble, but the way we reacted, and as you said, Gabriel, the reaction, you know, to come back and score, and yeah, I thought the whole team was better in the second half, and yeah, just annoying that we concede that goal again, you know, to make it too chaotic in the end. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points, another win, and yeah, we move on. But yeah, lots of things we could have done better. But yeah, we'll take the 3 points.
Like what, Martin, in particular?
I think we were very sloppy on the ball, especially in the first half. We gave away a lot of balls playing out from the back. You know, we gave them a little bit the momentum, put ourselves in trouble. And then, yeah, when we go 3-1 up, we should just see the game out, you know, but we concede again. So, yeah, there's a few things to improve, but at the end of the day, as I said, this 3 points is another win. The difficult place against a good team, who plays really good football, you know, and yeah, it's a difficult place to come, so a good win.
Martin, it's all about obviously getting a result, and you know, when you look back, if you do somehow can go on and win the league in May, you know, you don't really analyse every game, and it's all about getting a result, especially when the other teams are playing tomorrow as well, who's going to be around in the mix. It's all about getting the 3 points on the table. So I'm sure Mikel, after the game, is very, very pleased with not with the performance, but with the result.
Yeah, definitely the result is what we wanted. We wanted to get the win. That's all that matters. To win games and win games and win games, and we're doing that at the moment. It's true that a few of the games have been a bit more chaotic than we wanted, and a bit nervous in the end. You know, they're fighting for the goal. You know, so. But yeah, as you say, 3 points, a win, and we move on.
Martin, it's Glenn here. Just give me a feel of how it is down there tonight after getting 3 points and a really good start to the new year. But a big game coming up on Thursday for you guys.
Yeah, every game is big, to be fair, in this league. You know, every game is a big test, and today was another example of that. And as you say, another big game coming up, Liverpool. You know, so yeah, it's non-stop, and we're in a good moment. Feel like we have the momentum. We need to keep it up, you know. As I said, still areas to improve, and we can get better. So yeah, just look for the next now. Come back to the training ground, work on a few more details, and be ready for the next one.
Martin, really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much. Safe journey back tonight, and you can cheer on Chelsea tomorrow against Manchester City.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I know they'll be watching that. That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Man City, now they'll be watching that tonight, hoping they could have nicked one at the end, Bournemouth, but Man City won't be too worried about it at the moment. It's all about being around that sort of area about the March, April. That's when the last kick to home, and Man City have got players who've been there and done it. So, you know, I still think Man City certainly it's not over yet. There's a long way to go, but they'll be hoping Chelsea can do Arsenal a bit of a favour tomorrow.